My name is Dan Palacios. I am a Windows administrator for the Department of Consumer and Business Services, department in the state of Oregon. We manage over 1,000 desktops and probably a couple hundred laptops, which sit in over, 8 or 9 different business units. So there's different environments, different settings, different requirements, and so group policy really allows us to differentiate settings without having to have 1,000 different builds. I took the 2-day course about a year and a half ago. That was my great introduction to group policy, and it really proved useful because basically it showed me what was possible and how best to go about it. I've been doing group policy for about a year and a half, 2 years now. Group policy is important because it prevents you from having to go desktop to make some of these settings. It allows you to be more secure, more efficient, and set it and forget it. Our biggest challenges are we're moving from a Novell to a Microsoft environment. We're introducing new aspects, new software. We've tried to move from everybody has administrator rights to a limited user rights environment. And so group policy has allowed us to deal with a lot of those issues, setting up environments for folks, limiting their rights, setting up different policies that allow them to still manage to get what they need to get done without having to have administrator rights. Now, the course material is great because you go through it quickly. We go through a lot of information, a lot of how it works, but you also give us a lot of real-world experience as far as these are things to watch out for, this is how it works, this is how it works most of the time, but on occasion it still does something different. That's really impressive. A lot of times when you get Microsoft courseware or other brands, you hear the company line and they fail to mention that you might run into these issues, and then suddenly, bam, you're into 2 hours on Google trying to figure out why something happened. The lab materials allow you to get your hands on it. And what's great is most of the big areas that you cover are then covered in the lab so that you're doing what you just saw done and what you just heard described. And so by being a part of that multi-stage environment, when you walk out of class 2 weeks later, when you're like, well, how did we do that? Not only have you had your hand on mouse to figure out how to do it, but then you can also go back and look at the labs and kind of walk yourself through it again. The ability to find what you're looking for in group policy, to filter, to apply to the correct users, understanding how the OU structure works and how you can apply policies to the right people and to the right computers, definitely something you can get out of this class. Group Policy 2.0 class. I got a lot out of the group policy preference extensions. There's going to be a lot of things I can use right off the bat, including power settings. I had to create a custom ADM template, and it never worked quite right. So being able to use policy extensions to set those preferences is going to be really nice. This is a great value. Just pound for pound, hour for hour, there's more raw information and more usable information than a lot of classes I've been in. So when you look at the valuation of it, you'll walk out of here with more usable information, more experience, and your head will be that much more full.